Oh, this is janky. I got so many questions about my CCA just now. I didn't get to answer them, so let's do a quick CCA story time. When I was a young lad in primary school, I didn't really have a CCA. I was in taekwondo for a while, but that was I think it stopped because of PSLE. My teacher was like, "No more CCA for you, PSLE." So that stopped there. Before taekwondo, I don't think I didn't have a CCA back then. CCA wasn't that big of a thing as it is for you guys now. So fast forward to secondary school. My school did a little check, they checked everybody in terms of our physical strength, our body proportions, how can you do this sport, that sport, because they wanted the best of the best to be in each sport. So I did each CCA. I did the test and I picked my CCAs. I put like rugby and hockey and like cool stuff. And in the end, I got sent to the choir because yes, they did a voice test and the teacher was so happy as she played the piano and I could sing along and I kept going higher and higher and higher. Yeah, I was a soprano back then, and even though choir wasn't of my choice, I got put into it. It was fun, to be honest. It's a very magical feeling to sing a song as a group. There were so many very talented singers there. But after about a year and a half, I was like, it's nice, but I'm not feeling it, man. And so I bugged a lot of people, the head of CCA and basically the head of CCA. I kept seeing him so many times to please transfer me. I still wanted to go to rugby. A lot of my friends were in rugby and I thought it was cool. After a while, he was like, okay, cool, sure, I'm gonna be in rugby. And I transferred in the middle of Sec 2. But you have to understand, the me back then was a very different person. I was small. Okay, I'm not big now. I used to wear glasses and I was a coward. I'm going to say that here. I was not very brave. I didn't know how to play sports. I didn't know how to play soccer. I didn't know how to kick a football. I didn't know what on earth rugby was. And there I was in rugby without glasses. Blind as a... Bats are not blind. Blind as me without glasses. And I struggled. The whole contact bit was also scary for me at first. I didn't know how to do it, what to do. And it just felt so out of place. So I tried. I didn't try my best, to be honest. I could have done better, but I did not. The me back then I should have given it a slap. If I could go back in time, I'd slap my old self and like, stop being a coward. But anyway, after about a year plus, I told my mom, I don't think I can stay here. It's not good. So I wanted to get into NCC. I don't know why NCC. So this is where my mom really played a big part. She helped me to write into the NCC headquarters because NCC, National Cadet Corps, is like the fake soldiers, right? We are little kids wearing soldier costumes. It's not controlled by the school, it's controlled by NCC HQ. So my mom had to write in blah blah blah. It was so funny. The lady who spoke to my mom was like, oh, so your son wants to transfer in? Oh, he's from rugby? He must be very big. My mom was like, no. But it was so coincidental that at the point that I wanted to leave, the time that I wanted to join NCC, a friend of mine wanted to leave. So I inherited his stuff. His uniform was 3 sizes too big for me, but what was I gonna do? Nothing. So I got into NCC and turns out it was a good thing for me. I did really well there, and by the end of Sec 4, I was the assistant CCA leader. I had really good supportive friends there, so that was definitely a big thing, and it made me realize that I kind of enjoyed the uniform group life. So in the end, when I went to national service, I loved it. I didn't get sent to the army. I was sent to the civil defense to train as a firefighter, and I enjoyed it. Okay, so that's my CCA story. Oh, there's also JC. Yeah, so okay, after secondary school, I went to JC. I didn't want to continue in NCC because there's nothing much you can do in NCC when you pass secondary school. You have to come back as an instructor. And I was not going to instruct a bunch of smelly teenage boys on how to march and do push-ups. I wanted to try something else. So I got into 2 CCAs then. The Malay Cultural Club and Floorball. So the thing about the Malay Cultural Club is that in my secondary school, it was also one of my CCAs. It's like default, or you brown guy, go to Malay Cultural Club or Indian Cultural Club. Yeah, it's a very kind of important thing for our identity in a sense. And we had lots of fun. We did performances. We did things like DK Barat. We did I don't know what else we did, but it was a good time. I loved it. So I continued in JC, and I tried floorball. Guess who was lousy at floorball? This guy. So obviously I struggled and I failed, and at the end of the first year I didn't get selected to be the school team. I was bad. I was really bad. So I decided to quit and focus on my other CCA, Malay Cultural Club. And it so happened that my friends and teachers thought it was a good idea to put me as a president. I'm I'm useless. But I had a really, really solid team. And I had a good time there. So I'm glad I focused my efforts into the Malay Cultural Club or Malay Cultural Society. We had a good time. There was a lot of fun things we did. We had our own T-shirt and stuff. The T-shirt came out a bit weird, but we had that, and I made lots of good friends there. So no regrets. Fun fact: I was also a librarian in secondary 1 or 2. Yeah, I was a librarian for a while. I just liked the smell of the books in the library, but I also left after a while because I don't know, I couldn't really fit in there. I am a nerd, but it's a different kind of nerd to be a librarian. Okay, yeah, that's the end of my CCA story. The weird conclusion to it all is that despite me being horrible at sports, I ended up becoming a PE teacher. That's a thing for time. That's a story for another day, because this video has gone on long enough. Okay, I hope I've answered your questions about CCA. When you go into secondary school and you have to make a choice, you might make a mistake. It's okay. If you have to change, do your best. If you can't change, it's okay. Do what you can with the situation you're in. There are so many things left ahead of you to try and go through. So whatever who you are now will not really have a big impact on what you can be in the future, because we can always change. That's up to us. Things can affect us, sure, but how much do we want them to affect? Why am I getting philosophical? It's supposed to be a CCA video. Okay, thanks, bye.